Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Crusader Kings 2 as Pandia Kingdom. In the last episode we just declared a war for this little county here after fabricating a claim on it. And we won a battle and are about to start sieging and also sending this army up to fight the remainder of his army, so let's unpause and continue that. I'm mainly taking this county, by the way, so that I can form this duchy, which I will then grant to this count here, which I'm doing because of the count up here, who currently is the liege of this count. Did I call him a count? I meant duke. When he shouldn't be. He has the Raj of Vengi, which, as we can see, de facto he owns all of these counties, whereas de jure he's really only entitled to these ones. So by forming this other duchy and granting it to this guy, we can at least get one count out from under him without doing anything tyrannical. We'll continue to fight his army. We're up to 82% in this war. I think we're going to have to finish the siege to get to 100. Yep, only got to 96%. We're also in this other war that we were called into by our allies up in the north here, which we're not actually helping out with. But that's okay, I'm sure he'll be fine. So just this one siege should be plenty to win us this war. I am not going to back your plot. We also have a child who needs educating, our grandson. This is actually our eldest son of our current heir, so he is somewhat likely to end up being the ruler, so I should probably educate him myself. Though, of course, now that we are Jain, we switched religion. Yeah, that's fine. We do have the ability to choose our heir from all of our children, so if my current heir ends up having a better son than him, it's possible we could switch our heir. If he ends up having a strong or genius or something, I'm not sure what traits he stands to inherit. My son himself has no traits, but I think his wife is quick, yeah. Okay, I'm no longer ill, which is always good. Okay, somebody is being called in apparently, but it won't matter because this war is over. Okay, so he has... actually, he didn't become my vassal, we just took the county ourselves. Which is fine. I will just give it to somebody, I suppose. Men who are not in prison, they can be married, not already a ruler. There's somebody of my religion and my... Actually, I'll just say my religion group, because we can ask them to convert to Jain after we give them the county. We still have to respect the caste, I think, or maybe we don't, since we're not Jain ourselves, or he's not Jain rather, but we are. I'll just give it to somebody of the Kshatriya caste anyway. Okay, we can ask him to convert. Actually, it doesn't really make a difference, I suppose, if we do or not. Let's go ahead and create this duchy. It's going to cost me 100 gold, which is fine, we can afford that. And as I mentioned, I'll give it to this guy. If I know which one it is, it's this one, okay. And those vassals are going with the grant. So he is now an independent duke, no longer under this other guy. And I guess we lost a spy master doing that. I guess he was one of the sub-vassals there. I'm going to appoint this guy instead, which is the duke that we are trying to reduce his power, but that's fine. He's a good spy master, probably. We'll send him to study technology over here in Damascus, which is where we have been sending our spy masters, and it seems to be working reasonably well. So that actually gives us de jure claims over here for that duchy, which is nice. It'll give us some reason to attack Rashtrakuta up here, since we were having trouble, I think, finding claimants to any of his neighbouring duchies. Actually, there is a claimant to this one that will accept an invitation. He does have a weak claim only, so we would need to make sure there was a regency in charge here before we could actually attack. And it seems like that's unlikely to happen in the very near future. Should also disband my troops. And my grandson, another grandson, lacks a guardian. So we'll use him for opinion, I think. With this countess, I think. Was it a count or a countess? I didn't even look. Okay, we have many unlanded sons who are reducing our prestige, but I'm not too concerned about that. We're still gaining 2 prestige a month. We do have righteous imprisonment available on this Raja since he rebelled against us, but that's fine. We don't need to arrest him. And of course our ducal claims on those 2 counties. My son asked me for a fief of his own to govern. I will diplomatically refuse him. I do just always basically ignore the prestige penalty for having landless sons. I think it's well worth it to not have to deal with them not being in my court and doing all sorts of weird things when they're in charge of their own destiny. So this guy has given me bizarre and repulsive evidence concerning this person's sexual preferences. How should I use this juicy information? I don't think I need to have a reason to arrest her, so I suppose we'll just keep the information to ourselves. We also don't have any problems with factions, so no reason to do that either. And we gain some gold from a tithe. So, oh, our Upadhyaya has been attacked when trying to spread the Holy Faith. That's okay, I suppose. And seeing as we're not going to be able to press a claim for this duchy anytime soon, I think we may as well declare a de jure war for one of these counties. On this guy. So I don't think it really matters which one we take. We can also do subjugation wars. Costs me 500 karma. Actually take this entire kingdom? I gain the kingdom, gain all the Raj, takes or vassalizes all titles held by the Maharaja. That is kind of tempting, I think, but I'm not sure what kind of situation we'll end up with, whether we'll get an opinion bonus with him after we conquer him. 500 purity is not such a big cost. We have 1,000. I think maybe for now we'll just do a de jure claim on this county. And consider the subjugation war next time. So he'll most likely call in some of his allies, and you know he's allied with Maharashtra up here, by virtue of them being the same dynasty, I believe. Yep, that's exactly what happened. And another Maharaja, that's this guy here, okay. But that's fine, I think we should be able to handle them. He has 3.6k, this guy has... ooh, he has 7k. So he's quite strong. But I think if we can fight Rashtrakuta's army before they all join together, we should be fine. Assuming, of course, that we can find it. This guy up here is basically a non-issue because he is currently in a war that he is apparently losing quite badly. So I doubt he even has an army right now. Not that it would be a very strong army anyway, since he only has those 2 counties. I watched my grandson at play with another child yesterday and noticed that he didn't want to share his toys. We'll give him a lesson on charity. Didn't work. There's his army. We'll go ahead and fight it. Assuming we can catch him. I think we should be able to. Okay, and I'm not going to bother going looking for Maharashtra's army. I'm just going to go and siege the county. My marshal carefully approached me about his Hindu beliefs, trying to convert me to his way of worship. I'll say no, but I won't take action, and I guess I'll ask him to convert. So we're up to 20% from those battles. Not quite enough troops to be comfortable assaulting this, so I'll just leave the siege to progress. And we gain some free technology. So the rest of the land that this Duke holds is going to be a little more problematic. Not sure how we can easily take these 2 counties from him. We gain the trait ill, since we won't be able to form this duchy. Actually, we will be able to form that, won't we? Because him controlling them counts as us controlling them, so with one more of these counties we can actually form that, and I guess we would have to grant it to this gentleman here. Or whoever else is in charge of that county at that time, and we will be able to get these 2, I think, out from under him. Although, it might not work since he holds this county himself. We'll see. We may as well start conquering in that direction anyway, since it's all part of the empire that we want to form, the Deccan Empire. When I introduced my friend to Bhikkhu Shashanka, I had high hopes. I hoped they would become fast friends so we could spend time together, the 3 of us. Okay, good. I guess. Alright, we won that siege. Only gets us to 26%. Oh dear. So our illness has progressed, apparently. The cough is killing me. It started as chest pain and shortness of breath. Then I started coughing up phlegm and now blood. So we gain the trait pneumonic, which is a -4 to health and -2 to everything else. I think that's going to be enough to cancel out even all of the positive health traits we have. +1 from hunting dog. We have +1 from strong. Actually, +2 from strong, excuse me. +1 from being Jane. I think that's about all. Actually, we have +0.5 from being a brilliant strategist as well. So actually, this only puts us at +0.5, I think, to whatever our base health is, which I don't know. So perhaps it's not such a big deal after all. We're kind of old though at this point. I suppose while I'm still alive, I'll ask my son and heir to convert to my religion. I'm not going to be too concerned about converting all of the land or anything, since it's pretty likely that we'll change religion again. I do want to try out Buddhism also, at some point. I'll do it by decision if necessary. But if we can get a nice event to do it without losing a bunch of prestige, that would be even better. That's how we converted to Jain. So our war has ended inconclusively with the CB no longer valid. I guess our Raja here has died. As long as it doesn't result in a truce, which I believe it doesn't, then it's not a big deal. We can probably just redeclare. I'm not sure also what the cooldown on a subjugation is, if it's a once per lifetime thing, which is the way the pagan subjugation works, unless you have the ambition to form a kingdom. I suppose it might actually make more sense to subjugate for these two counties, since we want those for this duchy anyway. We can just grant them to the Duke. Is it worth 500 karma? Well, I don't know if we necessarily need the karma, or purity rather. Though it says karma there. Okay, let's do this then. No need to call in our allies. It's a little annoying that we have to get all our troops together again, but what can you do, I suppose? At least we know his army is depleted, since we already fought it once. If it is a once per lifetime thing for the subjugation CB, I'm not too concerned about it, since I am quite likely to die in the relatively near future, and my successor will be able to use it then anyway. So he's arriving in that county on the 20th, and you are getting out of there. Well, you're not even in there, you're in the next county over, so that's fine. I caught my grandson lying to me again, straight to my face, without batting an eye. I almost had an innocent servant sent to the stocks. So, this is my grandson and likely heir. So I guess we'll have him gain Deceitful. That's alright, at least he'll have good intrigue. If not good diplomacy. Ah, and I've actually recovered from my illness. So we might not be dying that soon after all. With our various health bonuses. My grandson was bitten by a snake this morning. The brave little fool keeps seeking out danger. Alright, so this is a better trait anyway. It's going to be brave. Is that this guy? Who is declaring war on whom here? Apparently my duke is involved. Claim on Vemulavada. Here, I see, so he's trying to expand. I don't like that. Looks like he's off to a bad start in that war, though. So I think since I don't want my Duke to win his war, I'll refrain from fighting Rashtrakuta's army. He can cause problems for the Duke. I still am not really interested in joining your plots, I'm sorry. Okay, so the other war we were in up in the north has ended inconclusively, which is fine. But we'll have to continue our war in the next episode because we're just about out of time for this one, so thanks for watching, and join me again then.